This example, they follow the format how we write a method. Okay, so first, this is a method, right? You have access modifier, you got return type, you got the method name with empty parameters, right? Then you need to include a return type, okay? Because this method, the return type is a string, right? The keyword return with the name, which is a string, okay? So there's two more methods. It's very similar, okay? Public has return type, has no return type. They got same different method name. So this one has an empty parameter. This one has parameter. Okay, so many people will concern, okay, why we need to include the parameter and how we use parameter. Okay, if you still remember, the class basically is used to help you to create an object, right? For example, in this example, the class is employee, right? But this is an abstract idea of employee, right? Because we try to define the employee, but this is not actual object, correct? Until you create object of this class, right? How make this object be real? We gave a name. We gave the salary. We get the name. We gave the name, right? How to give name? This is parameter. You ask developer to input. If I call this method, you have to input the same data type variable to assign this name variable, right? Correct? Okay. This is question. What can be said about the following method based on solely on this method header? Okay. B or E? Okay. Any other question? The answers? Will you agree with one of them or you agree both answers? One? What's your answer? B? Okay. And you're saying B? Okay. So let's take a look at every options, okay? Take two parameter, okay? Basically only one, okay? B does not return any value. Since this using the word, so this do not return anything, right? Cannot be called by other class, wrong, because access modifier is public, which means other class can call. return the object reference. Is that return? Because it doesn't return anything, right? If you want return, you have to change the return type to the badger. Right? Okay. Then this one. What is a static method? If it's a static method, you have to has a keyword static. Okay? So there's no keyword static, so which means it's not static method. Okay? So this is wrong. Okay? Question? Question? Okay. Then last class I talked about the constructors. Anyone can recall what is constructors? What constructor used for? Guys? What's a constructor? Amy? Yes. Help you to create object. Right? So yesterday I talked about two types of a constructor. One is create an object using a class. Right? Another using the static method to create object. Right? So every class you have to have a constructor, right? Yes? No? That's true or false? True? Okay, that's false. Because some method, they don't have to create, some class, they don't have to create object. Still remember? Class method. Anyone use class method like class, like a method, and new method? They use m max with 5 or 6. Did you do it this way? Method, new, math, object reference, then call the method max. Is that right? Or did you try use this way before? Come on, give me some feedback. No. Okay. Because this class has no constructor. All the methods, they can directly call class name dot method. Right? Okay, that's a good example, okay, to say you don't have to use a constructor if method is static. Okay? And tell you some class you don't have to create object. Why? We can only use the static one. Why? Okay, think about this example. Mass. Why mass you don't have to create this object? You can directly call the method. Because this mass class, okay, basically is a tool. Okay, everyone can use this. It's not dependent on the object's variable, right? Think about example. The class of employee. Okay, if you create an object, so these objects would be different, right? Because employee has different name, has different salary, has different address, right? But for this class, you don't have to, because we only use the method help you to, okay, return the maximum value, the minimum value, absolute value. We do multiplication, we do division, right? It's not dependent on the object, right? Correct? But for some class, it's very personalized, like employee, like student, right? Those highly personalized, because if I have a method for the employee, like language speak. This language, probably some people can speak Chinese, some people can speak French, English, right? It's highly customized. But for the method never change. It's not dependent on the object. Okay? That's the big thing, okay, when you think about create a static method. Maybe it's easy to understand. Okay, some people will say, okay, I want to use this method. I just use it static. Okay, it's very easy. I just use a class name dot method name. Then I can call. Why I should like this extra step, create the object. Right? Think about the difference. Why you need this step in some class, why you don't. Okay? So, this is a format to create constructor. Okay? First, constructor, you have to have access modifier. Between them, nothing. Okay, you don't have to return anything. And you don't have use void. Okay? The only thing you need to do, access modifier and the class name, which is same as the class you're using. This is very important. Class name have to be same. Okay? Then you have parameter list. Okay, as I said, constructor is used to create object of this class. So basically, can help you to initialize the property of this class. Right? Think about this example. The class desk, okay, has different property. What kind of materials, how many drawers they have. Okay, if we try to create objects of this desk, we need initialize the value to material and to the number of drawers, right? So we need constructor to help the developer to initialize object of desk, right? So we create a constructor. Okay, first constructor we can create, this is called default constructor. Okay, the default constructor, you don't have to put any properties inside the bracket. Okay, and you can initialize the value of this property. Okay, this is called default constructor. Why do we need a default constructor? Why? Why? Bryce? No? No idea? Guess. Why do you need default? Okay, think about it. You have a factory. Okay, this factory, furniture factory, only creates a desk. Most popular or most traditional, the most traditional like desk you create is Hollywood with 3 drawers. So this is default rate. Once people to create object for the desk using the default constructor, they initially give value to this desk. Okay, which means, okay, if I do this desk, doing this way. So basically, this line in the memory will create its object, which use Hollywood with 3 drawers automatically. Okay, so basically this default desk we create. But, got a question? Okay. But we still need customized desk. For example, your furniture, okay, we still accept like customized furniture. How we create another constructor, which allowed user to put the material and the number of drawer. Okay? So basically you can have multiple method or constructor using the same name, but with different parameters. Okay, so another example. Okay, someone asked me, okay, I need a customized desk. Okay, which you need to include 5 drawers. How should I do? In the next line, line 1, line 2. still using a polygon. What's the parameter data type for this one? String. And this method will assign to material, which is over here, right? So here I just polygon. What's the second? Second assigned to the number of drop. I want 5. I just put 5 there. Okay? So when you do this line, you have second object, which is polygon with 5. They are different objects, right? Right? And using different way to create object, right? Okay? So first, they both are constructor. Second, if you leave them empty, this is default constructor. Okay? Second, you can have a third. You can have another constructor using same name, but with different parameter. Okay? You still can use them and works well. Okay? Question. Question. Good? Make sense? So this is the thing we call overloading. Okay? Overloading. Using the same name, method name, with different parameter. Okay? Right? Only works for the method, which means if you have same variables name, that work? That work? Guys, that work? Can I have the same variable name material in this class? Another one? No. Okay, but you can have same method name, only different with different parameter. Everyone follow me? Yes? Okay. Okay, so different parameter also we can call signature. Okay. For example, in our class, we have 2 people have same first name. For example, Matt. Okay, but they with different signature. Okay. This is how you identify with different signature. Okay, different number of parameter, different type of parameter, different order of parameter. Okay, if I want to write another constructor, I can switch this order. Did that work? I put number first, then I put the material second. Can I do that? It's still overloading, or you can. Yeah, still overloading. Okay, because it's different. All right? Make sense? Good. Second, if if I leave this part, okay, empty, okay, so the object will automatically fill their property with default value. Okay, so this is a kind of different default value we'll assign. Okay, as I said, most of the number assigned is 0. Okay, Boolean sign with a false by default, and the class will sign with null. Okay, in the Java, all the class, the first letter would be start with capitalized, okay, uppercase. Okay, this also gives you a habit. If you write in Java, all the method, all the class, first letter, okay, you should write in capitalized. Okay, consistency with class Java library. Okay, but still you can use like lowercase. It doesn't matter. Okay, but it's not consistency with their library. If you deal with like thousands of a class, at that time you should tell, okay, this is a class, this is not method, right? You should create your own habit, a very good habit, okay? Right, question. If you have an instance variable with type string, okay, what value should it be if you didn't initialize the inner constructor? Yes. F. Why is F? String. String is class or not? Is that class? How you tell it's class? How you cannot tell it's class? First letter is capital, it's uppercase. Okay? Especially this is a built-in class in Java. Okay? Yes.
But isn't that a reserved word?
Yes, reserved. Okay. Question? Okay. Then we talk about how to write accessor and a mutator. Okay. I believe I talked about something a little bit accessor and a mutator in last semester, right? So in this class, I tried to make clear and in detail how to write accessor, why we write accessor. Okay. First of all, the format you have to understand. Accessor modifier have to be public. Okay. The second, this is accessor. Try and make sure the first 3 letters start with get. Okay. Once you're using get, you should be able to identify this is accessor. And get what variable, you should include this variable data type in here, right? Still, the same format how we write a method, but something you have to make consistency and fix the access modifier is public. Okay? Then you need to include the return type. okay, keyword return, you have to use. Okay, this example, the desk. We have two properties with private access modifier. So which means other class cannot directly access these two instance variable. Right? Right? Yeah. So how you can access those instance variable by other class? We use access method, accessor. Other class, they can call this method and return the variable they want. But here is the problem. Why should using this actual method to get instance variable? Why? Why cannot just put there, change to public? You don't have to use the method again, right? Why I should this actual step? Yes, because we want to protect our instance variables. Okay. In this way, people has no idea what the variable name, right? If I call, the only thing need to call is called get material. You don't know about this method inside. Also, you can put some other condition to help you to prevent something. For example, get desk. Okay, I want to return the material of this desk by someone is authorized. How should we do that? We can put there with one condition, whether this one is authorized. If it's true, you return material. If it's wrong, you return other message, right? But if you're using this way only in public, everyone can access this one. Everyone can change this one. Is that safe? No, right? And it didn't give you other like space to modify, to protect this variable. If you're using a method, you can change the body of a method to protect this variable. Okay, so the good habit, we keep almost every instance variable as private. we use the method to access them, to set them. Okay? Then it's a mutator. The mutator is help you to set the instance variable. Okay? Because the set, most of the time, you don't have to return anything. Because we want other class to access this method, you have to use public. Because we want to set a value, okay, the parameter, you have to use consistency with the variable you try to set. Okay? See this example. The same thing. We got material. We got number of drawers. All this data type is private. Okay? We try use class to set those variable. First is material. Public void keyword set, because we want to set the material, so the parameter have to consistency with material, right? Right? Then you assign this parameter to the variable, to the property. Since we know the private members they can use in the same class, this is the reason, okay, we can directly use this member in the method in the same class. Okay? So how to use them? In this example, we create two desks. Right now, I want to change the variable, the property of desk. Right? How to change? So right now, I know this one is polywood with 3. This is polywood with 5. If I want to change, how do we change? We call the method desk, use desk 1 dot set material with parameter. What's the parameter I should use? What data type? String. Okay. Again, material. For example, a plastic. Okay. Right now, the dex 1 in the memory, we change the polywood to the plastic with 3 draw. Okay, if I want to change the number of draw, the same thing, object reference, set that name number of the drawers with parameter. What's parameter data type? Int. Right? So basically give a number. I can change to 7. So right now, this one changed to the 7. Correct? Makes sense? This is the reason keep consistency with your instance variable. Okay, if you want to change, have to be matched, okay? Question? Yep. Yes. Because this one, you change this one directly, right? You don't have to return anything. But if you really want to return something, yes, you can return. Maybe someone changed to the string, which means after this line, you need a return. Maybe you can say set successfully, right? But normally we didn't do that in that way. Okay? Question? Question? Good? Here's some potential issues. What if I change the primitive data type, the value, same as the instance variable you set? Does that work? It's doesn't. Okay. If you want using that way, the keyword this. Okay, this means the object you want to call. Okay. Okay, that's in the big picture. How we use the list and how we create the object and use the class in that class. Okay. So for example, we got big picture. Okay, person. This person has name, has age. Okay, we set access modifier is private. Okay, then we need a constructor, right? What's this constructor? Is customized or is default? Yes, it's default. Okay. Then we have accessor and mutator. Okay, this accessor to help you to get the variable name. This mutator help you to set the age. Okay. Then in another class, we try to use this person class. Okay. So first, we create its object for a person, right? With object reference P1, right? Second step, we try to retrieve this person's name. We use accessor get name with object reference. So we basically will give you a name of this person P1, right? What's the name? What's the name? John Doe. Because once we create its object using the default one, then we'll call this default constructor and assign the name with John Doe and give the age 40. Okay? So this will return John Doe. How about this? What's this for? What's the original, like default age for this person, P1? 40. If we implement this line, perform this line, what's the age? 55. Okay? Okay. So then, let's see what's this for. As I said, this means the object of this class. Okay? So right now we create the object. Right? And this object is this. Okay? The second step, we get into the default constructor. We set name, we set age. So in the memory right now, you got John Doe 40. So right now, two object reference point to this object. One is this, another is P1, right? Then we go into second line. P1 dot get name. Okay, so P1, you will go here and I call this method, right? And this is pointing to this memory, right? So this name, what's this name? This dot name. So basically is this object's name, right? So we'll return this. Right? We got name with John Doe. Then we print out. Then we go to next one. The next one, we're still using the keyword list. So list stands for this object, right? And help you to locate the property age, which is over there. And the change to the 55. Okay? Does that make sense? What do you feel? How many people choose F? That's great. No one F. Okay. So this is not easy to understand, this part. Okay. Especially you guys like, we tried to do this at first semester already. Okay, but I didn't tell you why. Okay. So this class I tell you why we should do it in this way. Okay, you should understand. Okay. Basically those things, if you go to interview, people will ask you. Although this is very basic, it's also very important. Many people, they say, okay, I program many projects, but if I ask them some very fundamental things, they cannot answer. Right? If you want to keep, the career as a developer, you have to understand why we're using this way, why we write in this way. Okay, one more question. So right now, anyone can tell me how many ways you can initialize the property of the class? for how many ways you can access, you can set the property of the class. Two ways. What are they? Constructor? Yes? Yes. So one way, okay, you can use constructor to initialize, right? Like desk. First line, right? Second line, we both use constructor to initialize your property, correct? The second, you can use mutator, right? Correct? Question? Okay. So this class, basically, how many slides? I only have 18 slides, but include many things you need to organize by yourself. How many of you doing the programming Monday, this Monday? The question I left. The protected, private, public, that part of the code. Do you try? Oh, yeah, I posted last night. Okay, try do that. Okay. Next Monday I will ask again. All right, try do that. Okay. Question. Great. So this Friday, do that question I left on Monday and finish your quiz. Okay? If you have any question, send me email, post the PSR, schedule meeting, right? Or find your tutor. That's for class.